I'd say, let's write that out first. 5.5 miles per every 2 hours. And then it says, how far could you expect to hike in 7 hours? Well, to solve this, you can write a proportion. You can say, well, if we have this relationship here, then I can set it up, and that fraction should be equal to a fraction where I put what for the time? 7 hours. And then I'm just going to have to figure this out, aren't I?
So I put H or X.
How are you going to do it? And again, you could just multiply by 7. That'd probably be the most efficient way to do this. Notice we're given a decimal, right? So a decimal answer is okay. But yeah, you could just multiply by 7, or you could multiply by 7 and 2 on both sides and get rid of the fractions, right? And then 7 times 5.5, what would be that? Is that 38.5?
Yeah.
38.5 and 2 times x, and then divide by 2, and we get something. 19.25?
Yes.
19.25. And what were we talking about? Miles, weren't we? So I should probably add that in as well. Like so. Well, any questions on that? Yes, Alice?
How come that the 2x is over the 2? Because if you're getting rid of the 7, wouldn't it just end up being 2x?
No, we divided it by 2 after we did that.
Yeah, so I had 2x,
Oh, I
and
see.
then the next step was dividing by
That's
2.
not actually fractions, you just divide it. Okay.
Right, exactly. All right, you guys doing all right with this stuff? Yeah. Let's look at how I can get a little bit weirder with the proportions. So let's please jump right in here. Let's go. Oh yeah, this is a good one. Take a look. We're gonna solve, and we've got 6 plus n over 60 is equal to, this is kind of silly, 15 over 90. Now the reason I say it's kind of silly is because doesn't 15 over 90 simplify?
Yeah.
So you could totally simplify that first if you wanted to. Or you could just start solving it. It's up to you. If you want to just start solving it, you could multiply just by 60 and figure out what that is, and then subtract 6. And you would get n by itself. Do you agree?
Wait, what did you say?
Multiply by 60,
Yeah.
both sides, and then subtract 6.
Wouldn't it be easier just to simplify 15 over 90?
Yeah, we could. I'm just, if you want to, go ahead.
I'd just rather not do, like, isn't it
A big number.
60 times 15?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, you can go ahead. I'm just not gonna. I don't know. I just don't feel like it. But, or you could multiply by both denominators to get rid of all the fractions, can't you? And then you get 500 and, oh, notice this 90, because this is grouped together, when it's on a fraction like that, guess what we have to do with the 90?
Oh boy.
Distribute.
Have distribute. So we're gonna get 540 plus 90n equals whatever that is. 700. I'm not good at doing math.
Isn't that 630? Oh, wait, 540 plus 1. Oh, wait, never mind. Sorry.
15 times 60 would be 900.
Wow, I'm not even close anymore, am I? I should just like stop trying. 900, is that what you guys got?
6 times 60.
Yeah? 900? That does sound good. And then now we've got a two-step equation, don't we? Subtract the 540 over. Divide by 90. I believe n to be 4. What you guys got?
Yep.
Lexi, don't get too distracted.
Sorry, I was looking at that, I was like, using a calculator.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, do you have my gift?
yeah, I do.
You do?
I'm just too lazy.
Oh, okay, you're fine. I was just checking. Well, now,
Wait, is the,
Yeah.
is the 500, sorry, I simplified it and I realized you're not simplifying it, so I was, yeah. It's the 540, 15 times 60.
No, 540 is the 6 times 90.
6 times
I'm
90.
confused.
Wait.
Hold on.
You went so
Wouldn't it
fast.
be? Actually, would it be? Wait. Wouldn't it be 460?
What?
Whenever you subtract the 540 from. Well, no, never mind, because it's 1,000. I was thinking, I thought the 900 was 1,000. Okay. Never mind. That completely changes things. Okay. Never mind.
Wait, where did we get the 90s from?
See, this is why I don't do good in teams, because I have little mistakes like this.
Apply 90 on both sides. Question, Marcel?
Doing another one?
No, Marcel was asking if we could see what it would look like if we did the simplified one.
Yeah.
So I think 15 goes into 90.
6 times?
18. Oh, wait.
6.
6 times. So if you think about that first, you can just eliminate the what? 15. If you didn't see that relationship, you might have tried like 3 or 5 and broken it up, but then still had more to do. Does that kind of make sense? But the most efficient way to do it is to divide these out. And so now you're left with 6 plus n over 60 equals 1/6. And then you could still multiply by both denominators. So we multiply by what? 60 and 6. 60 and 6. And then we would end up at the same spot. Does that help, Marcel? A little bit?
You're at 36 plus n. Is that correct?
Yes. No, so.
What are you confused about? Could you narrow it down?
Well, the multiplying the denominator part, like, what's happening?
So if you multiply by both denominators, you'll undo all the fractions.
Where did we get the 60 from?
The 60.
Oh, never mind, sorry.
Where'd you get the 90 n from?
But wouldn't it be?
Oh,
Since we got rid of the 60.
It's distributed.
that's the simplified. The one on the right is the simplified one.
I know, that's what I'm looking at.
How did you have 60 if it's 1 over 6?
Because you're multiplying it by
If 6 divided by 6 is 1, then it's 1 over 1. Then you multiply 1 by 60, which makes it 60.
Denominators cancel out.
And then it makes the other one, wait, that's about how my.
We're waiting for it.
You guys ready to move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Questions?
Lost the one that comes back at you. Yes, I understand. 1.4 to 1.5. Marcel, you wrote you guys together.
Yeah.
I just forgot how things work and how things don't work.
How much it increases for
Huh?
an hour?
You were down her?
did.
We did it.
Oh, my team got second place.
No.
No, I like something else.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look. Take a look. We're still solving, and we've got 4 over x is equal to 12 over 24. Now, Tiger might be looking at this and saying, "Oh, I've got this figured out because I know how to go from here to here." But another thing that you can do is you can still remember that. Well, first of all, it's kind of difficult to solve for x when it's in the denominator. But what can we do on any proportion to solve it? Multiply by both denominators. And then watch what happens if you multiply by both denominators.
No, I have an idea.
Multiply by x. Multiply by x. What else do you need to multiply by?
24.
24. 24. What happens to these x's?
Cancel.
Come on. What do you do with the 24 and 4?
Multiply.
So what is that?
196.
Oh, it's 96.
What happens to the 24s?
Cancel. What would be 12x?
And what's left to do?
Divide 12.
We forgot to write it.
And
8.
Equals x.
8. Like so. Now, here's the thing. I heard Emma say, couldn't you cross multiply? It turns out I never cross multiply, but I'm actually almost always cross multiplying. Multiplying by both denominators is actually what's happening when you cross multiply.
Oh yeah, because it's like 4 times 20.
Because look at what we end up with. 24 times 4, x times 12. Do you see how that is cross multiplying?
No.
X times 12. X times 12. Cross multiplying.
Oh, okay. Ah, I got you.
Oh, so
So-
can we do that instead of leaving the parentheses?
No, I want to see. I mean, you do what you want. You do what you want, but I'm never going to just cross multiply because there's not a good mathematical explanation for cross multiplying other than properties of equality, where I'm multiplying both sides by the same things. So that's why. Is your end result the same as cross multiplying? Yeah, it is. Yeah, Lexi.
Could you cross simplify, like the 4 and the 24?
No. The thing is when you cross simplify, that's only when you're multiplying things together. This is not multiplying them together, they're separated by an equal sign.
Okay.
But not a bad idea, not a bad idea at all. Let's try. Let's do one a little more interesting. M over 5 is equal to M minus 6 over 5, or 4, sorry. Does everybody agree that this is a proportion? Well, how can we solve proportions? Multiplying by both denominators. And then you just got to be careful because what are you going to have to do with that 5? You're going to have to distribute it. The fraction bar acts as a grouping symbol, so think of it as having parentheses around the m minus 6 and distribute it. Now we've got m's on both sides of the equation. What do you guys suggest we do? We're going to subtract the 5m. subtraction property of equality. We get negative 1m, or just negative m. Yeah, divide by negative.
It equals negative 3.
I equals 30.
Oh, wait, yeah.
M equals 30. What time do you get out of here?
40.
40?
Yeah,
Oh my God. Hey, so your assignment for this, we've got a couple more to do, but you should be able to do most of that assignment already. Please go ahead and get started on it, all right? But the assignment is in Canvas. It'll be the most recent assignment, and it's just problems from a handout. So just work them out on a separate sheet of paper, and you'll be good. Everybody with me on that?
Yeah.
We'll finish these up tomorrow. Yeah.